Franklin is a new 8-episode series based on Benjamin Franklin starring Michael Douglas. So today, let's see if this series is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name is Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Apple TV+. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. In December 1776, Benjamin Franklin is world famous for his electrical experiments, but his passion and power are put to the test when he embarks on a secret mission to France with the fate of American independence hanging in the balance. Question of the video: which historical figure should Apple TV+ cover next? We just recently had a Apple TV Plus series centered around Lincoln and his assassination. Last year we had a film about Napoleon starring Joaquin Phoenix from Apple TV. Now we got a series based on Benjamin Franklin's time in France over 8 years as he's trying to secure some help for America's independence. In my eyes, there's only really one truly good performance for Benjamin Franklin.
You know I invented electricity.
I know.
Well, I'm sensing a little electricity right here.
Didn't Ben Franklin have syphilis?
Yes, but I don't.
This isn't a series about all of Benjamin Franklin's life. It is centered on his time in France as he's trying to get France to help out with America's independence. If it's weapons or finances, he knows what he has to do to secure their help. They love him over there. They think that he is famous and like this superstar, and so he caters to that. He goes to these parties, he starts up relationships, he is very cozy with the people of France. We also have John Adams in the series who views it differently. They shouldn't cater to all of that, and they should be very direct in trying to get their alliance. And the difference between the two is nicely developed throughout the series. But unfortunately, for a series centered around Franklin's time in France and trying to secure an alliance and trying to cozy up to everybody and their spies along the way, and this is regarded as a huge contribution from Benjamin Franklin, I felt no sense of urgency. This series really takes its time to develop any sort of story, any sort of urgency, or the big moment with Benjamin Franklin in his time in France. There's a couple of people that die throughout the series, but I do not feel any sort of intensity. I don't feel like this is a deep mission for Benjamin Franklin. I knew his time there is very important. I just did not get that vibe with this series. Mostly due to the fact that they would rather showcase some of the smaller moments of his time in France. He is accompanied by his grandson, played by Noah Jupe, and there is so much time dedicated to that character. He's understanding what it takes for his grandfather to secure this alliance. He's learning about it along the way. He's also having these minor storylines about having some crushes and girls that he meets along the way. That is stuff that I viewed truly unnecessary within the series, and it really could have just dedicated more time to Benjamin Franklin and trying to secure that alliance. And then you got Michael Douglas portraying Benjamin Franklin, and a lot of the storylines with him is that he's attending these parties and minor conversations that feel like they're not adding much to the overall plot of the series. And I truly understand why he went about it the way that he did, because France was big on their parties and their wardrobe, and he was able to kind of fit right into all of that. They loved having him there, and he was playing up on everything that they did in France. He was approaching this alliance in a very careful, strategic way. We do see that Benjamin Franklin is a strategist within this series, but a lot of the storylines in here really amount to nothing. Like, they have these meetings, but you feel like that meeting wasn't serving any kind of purpose. It was just there. A lot of dialogue, heavy dialogue throughout, that at times is a little bit cheesy, and there's no growth for it all. I did like Michael Douglas in it. I I didn't really buy into him looking like Benjamin Franklin. You don't have the receding hairline or the big belly. They attempted to do that in this series, but I guess they ran out of time. So we have Michael Douglas looking like Michael Douglas, and he gives a good performance. There's not a lot of depth given to Benjamin Franklin besides knowing that he loves these parties and loves attending to the women there and loves fart jokes as well. But for the most part, there isn't much that we know about Benjamin Franklin. I feel like this series is trying to be a history lesson of the time in France rather than developing the character and giving him some personality. More so that we got that development for his grandson more so than Benjamin Franklin. So by the end of it all, I feel like I did get this history lesson, but I wanted more personality to this series. I wanted to feel some intensity of his time in France because it did span several years. I wanted to feel the urgency of him and John Adams and the way that they strategized to get this alliance. It felt very off when you look at the overall scope of what happened and his time there and what he was trying to accomplish. It feels just very hollow when you look at what the series is trying to offer for it. It does look really great. The set designs, the location, the filmmaking, the film editing, all of that looks fabulous within this series. I have no problems whatsoever with the way that it looked, and the score is pretty good as well. But I didn't feel any sort of connection to his time in France. I didn't feel any intensity for him securing the alliance, and his contribution to America is a big part of his time in France, but it's severely lacking within this series. So by the end of it, I felt it just moved at a snail's pace. There's so much conversation that never amounted to much. You didn't feel like there was the spies involved and trying to secure these alliances, and Brit and other people worried or concerned with Benjamin Franklin's time there and really questioning all of that. There's so much more they could have done with this series, but it's just not there. This is a pretty disappointing series despite some talent behind the series, and Michael Douglas, Noah Jupe, their good performances are good there, but they really can't contribute a lot to the series, and they really don't carry it. So by the end of the 8 episodes, I was glad it was over. I learned some things about his time in France, that he loved fart jokes and loved going to these parties, and really played up the idea that people really liked him there and they viewed him as this celebrity. But there's so much more they could have done with this series. So before I give you my score for Franklin on Apple TV Plus, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give Franklin a C. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Franklin on Apple TV Plus. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.